Hello and welcome to the top 20 games of 2020. I mean, the top 10 games of 2020. Truth be told, I don't think I bought 20 games this year. Which, segue into disclaimer number one. A lot of good games came out this year that I did not get to play, many of which reside within the honorable mentions. Hurrah. You see, sometimes companies only give you a demo after you've pre-ordered cough cough Activision, and games are too expensive for my cheap ass. But when I was a kid, you could play a whole game in a demo. Okay, I'm going to stop, but in exchange, I'm going to need you to get all the way off my back about these honorable mentions, and we'll continue. Okay, disclaimer number 2. This is all opinion. Feel free to post yours in the comments. Disclaimer 3, no mobile exclusive games. Sorry, Opera, Omnia, I'm the only one that loves you. Disclaimer 4, you gotta love memes. I'm just saying. Disclaimer 5, you're doing great, we're almost there. Free-to-play games are fair game, even if they didn't come out this year, as long as they continued with added support. So, I didn't play Genshin Impact, but my homies did, so it goes in honorable mentions. Disclaimer 6, please like this video. The last video only got 1 dislike and 0 likes. Okay, let's go. Number 10. Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation. This free-to-play team deathmatch game came out on the PS4/PS5 and PC. It didn't launch this year, but they keep adding suits, making new maps, expanding the lobby, and more. Also, I finally put real money into it this year for the first time. $8 whole dollars. Golly gee willikers are making money off me. Anyways, if you like fast-paced 1v1 action, this is the exact opposite of that. Grab some friends, ponder up a plan, and hope the enemy team doesn't snipe your giant metal legs out from under you. Also, this game gives away free suits, so your collection's growth is inevitable no matter your skill level. Number 9 is The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. If you watched the prequel that came to Netflix last year, then you know what's in store here, as the game follows the same storyline. Honestly, it could use more oomph regarding its dialogue and cutscenes, as there isn't a ton, but the combat is grid-based strategy and handles itself pretty excellently. The different races have their own skill trees available to them that really help specialize each character. Having a diverse squad makes battles fun and breezy, but if you need to crank up the difficulty, you can, which is not something that's always present in turn-based or in grid-based RPGs. But if you are the individual that wants to play as a whole party of fizz-gigs, now is your chance to go nuts. Number 8 is Takashi and Hiroshi, which launched on the Switch the moment it was announced at a Nintendo Indie World Showcase. You'll enjoy this game if you like cute animation, turn-based RPGs, and games that don't add unnecessary fluff. Some people really want post-game or get upset if a game ends after a couple of hours. Takashi and Hiroshi is short and sweet and plays with the turn-based RPG in a unique and balancing act of trying to survive each fight as close to 1 HP as you can. Personally, I find this fresh and would happily play a sequel if they ever did that someday. Number 7, it's Fall Guys. Yeah, you know it. That game that was free on PSN the moment it launched. It took the world by storm for a hot minute, and you know what? It's a silly, good game that has never caused rage or annoyance in anyone. Just kidding. So how did this game even happen? Mediatonic started in the mid-2000s and did web games exclusively for years. They started branching out in 2013 and teamed up with Devolver Digital for a beat-em-up called Foul Play, which was really solid, by the way. So you're probably thinking, wow, that is a good game, would probably deliver next, has to be something groundbreaking. Well, their next game together was Hatoful Boyfriend, the pigeon dating simulator. Yeah. Luckily, that didn't sour the relationship because the next game between Mediatonic and Devolver Digital would be Fall Guys. which is mixing it up with new stages every season, and it's now on season 3. Number 6, another free-to-play game that probably no one has heard of is Spellbreak. This battle royale is 1/3 running / ice skating / levitating around, 1/3 looting chests, and 1/3 chucking fireballs or lightning bolts at strangers when you find them looting a chest. So the deal is you drop down on a map that shrinks over time. The map will show you where loot can be found, but it takes time to activate once you get there, which will make you a target if anyone is close. You start the game with a magic gauntlet of your choice. As soon as you find another gauntlet, you can add it as a secondary. Options are fire, ice, earth, wind, lightning, and toxic. You could say each gauntlet has a normal and a special, so combining spells really doesn't get too difficult. But it is fun and visually impressive, especially if you're playing in a squad and you can make use of your teammates' elements. Please play this game before everyone abandons it for the next Battle Royale. Number 5 is Footsies. Okay, so back before Fantasy Strike or Nidhogg, there was one fighting game so simple that anyone could play it because there were only 2 buttons. Dive Kick. Footsies is less extreme than Dive Kick, but that's what I love about it. It adds more depth without becoming too complex. There's only one character, so once you learn the 5 or so moves, you're ready to play. Grabs, jumps, side switch, none of that. No tech needed, just good old-fashioned blocking and punishing. Did I mention this game is $4 on Steam and free on mobile? Also, it has rollback netcode for that good online play. Alright, number 4 is Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Why, yes, I would like to pay full price for this Wii U title with DLC. Thank you for asking, Nintendo, you beep. Not the happiest with Nintendo right now. But anyway, this game is great. Side missions, co-op, boss rush. I do appreciate the additions here. Plus, it looks and feels better than ever. If you know a Pikmin, you know what's up. If you don't, well, I hope you like commanding adorable homies that want nothing more than to dig up bottle caps, carry fruit, and listen to you blow your whistle. That and murder anything around that isn't a Pikmin. And for all you Dark Souls players out there, how about a dodge roll? That do anything for you? Boom. You can command all your Pikmin to dodge roll at the same time. In all fairness, this game is not Pikmin 4, but if you slept on the Wii U and now have a Switch, this game is one you need. It is maximum adorableness. Number 3, buckle up, kids. It's the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't know about you, but I've been waiting years, and I remember talks of an FF7 remake literally 20 years ago. I'm so old. Now, Part 1 is finally out. It's in our hands, and it's really great, but it's not perfect. First, let's talk about the sound and the music, which are phenomenal. Absolutely the best sound quality I've ever heard in a game. Multiple groups can be talking at the same time, and they sound spaced. They don't take away from the music, which ramps up and down with cutscenes and combat. Its transitions are mind-blowing. Just play the demo if you don't believe me. The graphics are impressive, but can look muddied if you look too closely at the wrong thing. I'm sure some PS5 version will fix that later. But on the other hand, never before could you look up at the night sky with these little stars and all this. Oh wait, that's the plate above you, and those lights were put there by man, and oh my god, the slums are weaving and winding, and Shinra HQ is massive, and Midgar looks so amazing. Listen, there are hallways full of enemies, but I don't mind that, because I played FF13. I mean, Midgar is so expressive and stunning that it's going to blow you away, even if it's a hallway full of enemies. Until you talk to NPCs that act like they came straight from 13.2, it's because the main characters and the supporting characters get all the attention, and everyone else can go suck on a lemon. Avalanche crew gets more background, but you never see their spot in Seventh Heaven. And there's just a few missing details and similar aspects that the other characters could have used. Combat. We gotta talk combat, baby, because it's really good and it's not turn-based. It feels more challenging than FF15 or Kingdom Hearts 3, but it's missing a little something. Maybe better aerial combat, probably more party members, and the ability to switch them in and out mid-battle. They could fix that in Part 2, especially with all the party members that we haven't even gotten in the game. Regardless, mini-bosses can donk you if you aren't careful, and actual bosses are an action-packed thrill ride. Seriously. Very intense, almost always phenomenal. But then you beat it, and the game offers you a real hard mode like you want to try that again, but with 0 items, which is pretty challenging. Also, Tetsuya Nomura, the director from Kingdom Hearts, is here, so the story takes a few unexpected turns that may or may not leave a taste of disgust in your mouth, and I'm not trying to super spoil you, but in their modernization, they have ruined a few scenes, such as when Reno finds Cloud and Aerith at the church. A few more options would go a long way, very little controller customization, and yet this game is excellent. It's really an experience. Cinematically, musically, it's great, and it's only a part of the story. Okay, number 2. Oh baby. And time out, if you're playing this on the Switch, try the GameCube controller. It's godlike. Super Giant Games surprises nobody with yet another S-tier game. It's Hades. You like having an emotionally disastrous bisexual god as a protagonist? I hope so. Because Zagreus doesn't have everything figured out, but is damn determined to see things through. This plays out well as the characters, story, and relationships here all feel so fulfilling and emotional. Plus, if you play enough, it turns into a dating sim. But I want to talk about combat, because that's the bulk in any roguelike. Funny enough, it is reminiscent of their old games, but seasoned in a way that allows for all kinds of new abilities to craft each run thanks to the choices you make, which are numerous and somehow pretty stress-free. As you play through the game, you get to choose the next room you enter, and thus the reward for clearing said room. The amount of rooms is either 1, 2, or 3, so sometimes you don't get a choice. Most of the time you do. If you get a boon from a god as a reward, you get to add one of 3 abilities to your repertoire. All of these choices culminate to guide your run to fruition or failure. These choices make the runs less RNG-based and more suited to the person playing. It also allows you to try different things mid-run. It's amazing. But if you're really worried about something specific, such as HP, you can focus your run and keep going after the heart icons. Or if you want to do big damage, you can look for Ares or Zeus boons. You want to hoard gold to buy a permanent item on the last floor. Choose coin doors and get more moolah every chance you get. Also treasure troves to possibly get more stuff while you're actually going through the dungeons. The different weapons and variants make it easy to try out different fighting styles and strategies to suit yourself. Switching keepsakes between floors can help you encounter the gods you want, or maybe give you another death defiance when you're going into the last fight. Plus there is the packed punishment for turning up the heat and making the difficulty go up in all kinds of brutal ways. If this game had 2-player, it would be beyond amazing, but it doesn't, and I can't help but recognize the human connections through games being crucial in my memories, whether that be couch co-op or online, which means, small spoiler, but number 1 is the only one game that can take the title of the year, and this game is the most deserving. It is a joy to watch. It is a joy to play. The characters are unique. The roster more balanced than any fighting game out there. And yes, soundtrack has a couple of bangers, no doubt. This game is a dream come true, and it is everything gamers were craving. It's Kirby Fighters 2. Yo, Kirby. Give me that cowboy hat, Kirby. Bandana Waddle Dee Gooey. The gang's all here. Even Mewtwo King be streaming tournaments these days. Okay. The real number one might upset some viewers because it didn't launch this year, but it did get balanced patches, national online tournaments, and new characters. It's Dragon Ball Fighters. Okay, fighting games come and go, but only the truly great, stick around year after year, and DB Fighters has, because of the continued support from Bandai Namco / Arc System and all the FGC that keep playing and getting better, and this year produced the fewest amount of new characters, but it helped to settle the meta, and most would agree the game overall is more balanced than ever. It's really come a long way since it first came out. But don't they want more money? I mean, I'll pay for colors or stages or alternate costumes. Arc System, please take my money. DB Fighters can make more dough than Grand Blue Versus. But seriously, what other current fighting game is more fun to play than Fighters? Don't make me check Street Fighter V for updates. Nintendo's online and everything else is trash. Guilty Gear ain't coming out until April. DB Fighters is where it's at. And now, if you excuse me, I've got some nog to attend to.